Now let us understand the second topic in the fourth unit of Paper 1 Philosophical Perspectives of Education of Bachelor of Education course. The second topic deals with nature and role of disciplinary knowledge in the school curriculum. And first, let us see the nature and role of social sciences in the school curriculum. Social science is defined as a scholastic discipline that investigates human society and relationships. And if you want to understand the nature of social science, the nature of social science as follows. The social science encompasses the diverse concerns of society and include a wide range of contents drawn from the disciplines of history, geography, political science, economics, sociology, psychology, and anthropology. These many branches of knowledge make social science a very rich discipline, and social sciences perspectives and knowledges are indispensable to building the knowledge base for a just and peaceful society. That's the reason we have introduced this social science into the curriculum of school. The contents of social sciences aim at raising students' critical awareness through critical exploring and questioning of familiar social realities that they come across in their day to day life. As a discipline and a branch of knowledge, it deals with the human behavior in its social, cultural aspects. And now let us see the role of social science. The following are the main roles of social science in the school curriculum. First is it teaches the students to become good citizens. See, without the knowledge of social science, you cannot train the students to acquire good citizenship qualities. And it focuses on the study of society and the relationship among individuals within society. And the subjects of social sciences, such as civics, history, economics, polity, helps to eliminate all forms of socio-economic injustice and exploitation, social discrimination, and stigma that afflict society from time to time. National unity and integration in general, and peace in particular, are inculcated by the study of social sciences among the students. And further, if you want to understand the role of social science, it enables the future citizens to decipher and address a heap of challenges emerging from the wave of globalization and international brotherhood. The study of social science inculcates certain social skills such as cooperative attitude, fellow feeling, solidarity, responsibility, leadership, etc. among the students. These are inevitable to live in the world, and we have to inculcate these social values from the school age onwards. Social science exposes students to a broad spectrum of various social systems across the globe, which broadens the minds of students. That important role is played by social science. And study of social science helps the students to understand and discuss plethora of social issues and equips them to find solutions to pressing social problems. That knowledge is supplied by social science. And study of social science helps to bring changes in the society in every sphere of human life to make it compatible with other systems of the world. And skill of critical and unbiased thinking and scientific attitudes are developed by studying social science. And we have understood the role and nature of social science. Now, let us understand the nature and role of science in the school curriculum. See, humans are curious by nature, and this curiosity propelled them to explore the natural and social phenomena of the world. Human beings' natural tendency to observe the physical and biological environment carefully, look for meaningful patterns and relations, make use of tools and invent new ones to interact with nature and build conceptual understanding of the world. This human endeavor has led to modern science. And further, if you want to understand the nature of science, science is a systematic study of phenomena following some interconnected procedures: observation, looking for patterns, making hypotheses, devising qualitative or mathematical models, testing hypotheses, deducing their consequences, verification or falsification of theories, and arriving at principles, theories, and laws of governing the natural world. So, science is a systematic study. It has certain procedures to understand the phenomena around us. And further, science is a method of inquiry. According to Carl Pearson, there are six steps in science, and these six steps are: first one is identification of the problem, gathering information relevant to the problem, statement of the hypothesis based on information, testable predictions of other related observable phenomena, testing the hypothesis, supporting or rejecting the hypothesis or modification. So, by following these six steps, any scientist tries to propound his assumptions and theories. So, it is not a just haphazard manner of inquiring into the phenomena. It's a systematic procedure. So this methodology also makes the students to imbibe, to cultivate the scientific inquiry. Now let us see the nature of science. Science is a body of knowledge. Scientific knowledge available to us exists in the form of facts, concepts, principles, laws, hypotheses, theories. They are codified as a body of knowledge which helps to explain the phenomena in an unbiased way. And further, if you want to understand the nature of science, science is an attitude towards life. It is an attitude. People with a scientific attitude maintain the following characteristics in their life: open mindedness, objectivity, free from superstitions and prejudices, a belief in the cause and effect relationship, accuracy and truthfulness in reporting observations, and further, methodical way of solving the problems on hand instead of solving the problems haphazardly. Updating oneself in the light of new developments and readiness to change, respect the opinion of others, ability to distinguish between fact and fiction, scientific evidence and scientific proof. And they also develop unbiased mind. So, by studying science, they also develop democratic values. And now let us see the nature of science. Science is developed by a multidisciplinary approach. A holistic approach with involvement of multidisciplinary inquiry is required in science. Science draws on the contributions of the humanities, local knowledge systems, aboriginal wisdom, and a wide variety of cultural values in the process of its inquiry. See, science also respects the humanities and local knowledge systems that have been developing through the ages, and aboriginal wisdom which was practiced and maintained by our ancestors, and a wide variety of cultural values are also taken into consideration while developing the process of inquiry into the understanding the phenomena at hand. And next, let us see the role of science in the school curriculum. See, science can play a truly liberating role, helping students to ignite their minds such that they overcome ignorance, superstitions, and prejudices and trains them to solve severe problems of mankind. See, nowadays in the modern society, so many kinds of ignorances and so many superstitions and prejudices are practiced by some ignorant people. So, the scientific attitude trains our younger generations to overcome these kinds of ignorance, superstitions, and prejudices and emerge into a vibrating personality and a dynamic personality. And further, science education trains students to overcome bias and increases the pursuit of objectivity in whatever they study. As a result, students would become more realistic in their endeavors and evolve into resourceful citizens. See, scientific inquiry and attitude makes the younger generation to be more practical oriented, more innovative, and more inventing and more creative as well. And further, if you want to understand the role of science in the school curriculum, the methods adopted in science, such as observation, analysis, hypothesis, prediction from hypothesis, and its testing by experimentation, helps in developing scientific attitude among students. And further, knowledge generated by science solved many problems of human beings. Study of science equips the students with the skills of innovation and invention, who in turn try to solve problems faced by the mankind. And so far, we have understood the nature and role of social science and science in the school curriculum. Now, let us understand the nature and role of mathematics in the school curriculum. See, mathematics is a branch of knowledge which deals with numbers and their operations. It involves calculation, computation, solving problems, etc. Lexically, it is the science of measurements, quantity, and magnitude. It is exact, precise, and systematic and logical. National Policy on Education 1986 stated that mathematics should be visualized as the vehicle to train a child to think, reason, to analyze, and to articulate logically. Now let us see the nature of mathematics. Mathematics is the discovery of relationship and expression of these relationship is carried in symbolic form in words, in numbers, in letters, by diagrams or by graphs. And mathematics is an intellectual game with its own rules and without any relation to external criteria. From this standpoint of view, mathematics is mainly a matter of puzzles, paradoxes, and problem solving. It is a sort of healthy mental exercise. See, the people who practice mathematics, they do not suffer from dementia, aging dementia, and any other loss of memory because it juggles the neurotransmitters and it also gives exercise to the neurons in the brain. So they always maintain a active life who practice the mathematics and who solve mathematical problems. Further, mathematics is a hypothetical-deductive system. It is a system of logical process whereby conclusions are deduced from certain fundamental assumptions and definitions that have been hypothesized. And further, if you want to understand the nature of mathematics, mathematics carries logical sequence. This is the main feature of mathematics. Unless a systematic derivation is derived, um, mathematics does not satisfy itself. So, mathematics is known as an exact science because of its precision. In it, the results are either right or wrong, accepted or rejected. There is no midway in between. So, that much of exactness is carried by mathematics. And mathematics is an abstract subject. And further, if you want to understand the nature of mathematics, mathematics uses symbols and is free from verbosity. See, it does not use much of words. It uses only symbols because symbols provide you exactness. And applicability is core of the mathematics. It requires the learners to apply the skills acquired to new situations and solutions of the problems. And mathematics is the science of measurements and quantification. And it is an activity based participatory nature. See, you cannot visualize in your brain the mathematical steps. It has to be solved, it has to be done. And the person who is doing exercise of mathematical problems has to participate in that solution. And so far, we have understood the nature of mathematics, and now let us see the role of mathematics in the school curriculum, what role it can play. And mathematics is ubiquitous and all-time requirement for leading a good and efficient life. This is an inevitable subject for the students. The qualities nurtured by solving math problems, such as power of reasoning, creativity, abstract or spatial thinking, critical thinking, can be more useful in solving day to day problems as well. The children who practice more mathematical problems, then they also extrapolate the mental faculties that they activate in solving the day to day problems. And mathematics makes students develop all their mental faculties and keeps them active and sharp thinkers. The people who are good at mathematics are sharp thinkers. That's the reason their employability skills are more when compared to other subjects. And further, the role of the mathematics in school curriculum. Mathematics helps students to prepare for technical and other vocations such as engineering, agriculture, accountancy, banking, business, carpentry, fine arts, and surveying, and space technology, and computer science. So this many kind of skills can be developed among the children by practicing mathematics and by making them to solve as many problems as possible in the mathematics classroom. One can derive pleasure in solving math problems, riddles, and puzzles. So it is more entertaining also for children. So children can also overcome the drudgery of attending the continuous classes by solving the problems. Further, mathematics contributed immensely for the growth of new disciplines such as physics, chemistry, biology, computer science, engineering, technology, business and accountancy, trade and commerce, geography, history, psychology, architecture, designing, statistics, fashion design. In this many areas, the mathematics is having applications and implications. So mathematics has to be made a mandatory subject in school curriculum, and once the students are instilled with that love and what you call interest in the mathematics, they really develop all their mental faculties, and they can also excel in the areas which I just now mentioned. Now let us understand the nature and role of language in the school curriculum. What the role the language can play and what it is nature uh, of this language studies. Let us understand about this. Language as words and the methods of combining them for expression of thoughts. In fact, basically, language is the combination of words and methods of combining them to make sentences and to express your thoughts and views. And language is a system of communicating. This language makes us to communicate with others. The human knowledge and culture are stored and transmitted by language. See, the extensive and rich heritage of knowledge is stored in the scriptures and in the books, and this is transferred to the younger generation. And unless and until they get mastery over the language, they cannot acquire the rich repository of the knowledge that our ancestors have given to us. And further, thinking is effective only through language. See, without language, society would be impossible because without language, we cannot think properly and we cannot express our views to our fellow members of society. And moreover, it is a yardstick to separate us from other creatures. See, this is the only feature that is separating us from the other creatures of the world. Other animals won't speak language, but only we, human beings, only speak language. And it is also the medium through which most of knowledge is constructed. See the people how we are able to construct the knowledge by using the language only. So that's the reason language has got a pivotal role in the school curriculum, and our thoughts and ideas are communicated through language. Symbolic language and sign language may be used to only just to help the people who are not having a speech ability, but that is only very limited, and certain important and higher order things cannot be communicated through the sign language. If you really learn a language which you can speak out, then that will fetch you several things in your life. And nature of knowledge, language, if you want to understand, language is learnt. So by birth, we don't have any language, and gradually we learn it from the parents first. We speak language due to our effort and imitation. We always imitate our parents and family members and our siblings and our relatives. So gradually, we develop language by imitation and by putting our efforts to utter the sounds and words and sentences. It is not an automatic process. We have to put our efforts. Our mother teaches us to speak out words, small words first, then slowly complex words, and then slowly sentences, small sentences, and slowly large sentences like that. We go on acquiring the language. So the language teacher plays very important role in the life of the child at the school stage. Unless the language teacher teaches the language properly, the children, though they have mental faculties, they cannot manifest their mental faculties, and they cannot really explore the surrounding world without learning the language, and they cannot communicate also. So language is a byproduct of culture of the society. It has a meaning only in relation to the society. See, human societies only are using the language. It's a byproduct of society. So language has meaning only in relation to the society. If there is no society, there is no need of language. A language is a unique system consisting of symbols, sounds, words, structures, syntax, etc. Each language has its own system of vocabulary. So Telugu language has its own vocabulary, English language has its own vocabulary, and Sanskrit language has its own vocabulary. So distinct, and Sanskrit is said to have rich vocabulary than any other language in the world. And further, language is skill based, and these skills can be learned by practice only. The more you speak out language, the better your spoken language will be. And the more you interact with other people of the same language, the better you learn the language. The fourfold linguistic skills are LS or W: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And language teachers need to train their students in all these four skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing sufficiently for the betterment of the child, and to prepare the child for the future life and vocation. Language is used for communication and self expression. Human beings express their thoughts, feelings, emotions through language. A language is governed by a particular set of rules. These rules include the grammar that relates meaning so that we can communicate with others. So this is the nature of language, and now let us understand the role of language in the school curriculum. What role does language plays? See, we use language to inform and communicate with the people around us of what we feel, what we desire, and question and understand the world around us. We communicate effectively with our words, gestures, and tone of voice in a variety of contexts. Our tone also gives certain meaning to the listeners. And language plays a very important role in the development of personality. It helps us in maintaining the interpersonal relationships. Nowadays, interpersonal relationships are very important to live in this modern world. And unless you learn more than one language, your interpersonal relationships will be poor. and that's the reason language has got more uh, important role to play in the school curriculum. So language is intrinsically related to culture. It has an important social function to help foster feelings of group identity and solidarity. See, whatever the language is spoken by a group of people, which also gives some identity to them. See, Telugu people, Tamil people, Kannada people, and Malayali people, Bengali people, and Marathi people. Like that, the language also gives you some identity. So, by learning one language, you can really acquire an identity in the society, and it is the means by which culture and its traditions are shared, preserved, and disseminated. See, through the language only, we can really share the traditional practices and preserve them and disseminate them among the younger generations. So, language creates knowledge. According to Plato and Socrates, the knowledge and truth can be attained only through proper use of language. So unless you use the language, you cannot make use of your what you call your feelings and your knowledge, and you cannot develop interpersonal relationships also. And language helps in development of cognitive skills and assists in social development. Language helps to understand the frontiers of knowledge across the curriculum. Across the curriculum, there are several disciplines, and language helps you to understand the diverse curricular disciplines. And learning more than one language is more advantageous in the development of cognitive skills, social skills, furtherance of one's knowledge in various disciplines. And if you really learn uh, second language or third language other than your mother tongue, then you will be at an advantageous stage. That's the reason the teachers need to focus on first on mother tongue and then on second language and third language. And the more language the children acquire, the better they are placed in the career, and the better they lead their life effectively and successfully. And language ability distinguishes man from other creatures that we have just now told. And language also makes the children to excel in acquiring the knowledge. See, with the help of language only, the children develops study habits, and the more studious the children are, the better they are at what you call pursuing the studies, further higher studies, and also even to get placements in their life. So language is uh, playing a very pivotal role in the life of the school children, and that's the reason language teachers need to take sufficient care to make the children to acquire the language skills, so that they will get mastery over not only one language but two or more than two languages also, and that really fetch the children bright future. So language is having a very important place in the school curriculum. So that is why language teachers need to take this care of developing language skills, particularly with respect to LSRW, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So like this, we have broadly these sciences, social sciences, and mathematics and language disciplines, which are made core subjects in the school curriculum. And this stage is going to lay a foundation in these core subjects, and the students are expected to get sufficient mastery over these four disciplines, starting from social science to through science and mathematics and languages, and they can lay a strong foundation for the um, what you call for taking up the higher studies, and for settling in their life. And these disciplines will lay a strong foundation in the life of the children. That's the reason these four disciplines are made core subjects in the school curriculum.